So this video is about how to use a search technique called citation searching or citation tracking. Now you might have done this before without knowing that there was a sort of an official name for it, but this is a way of finding extra articles once you've already got one that's relevant to your study. So it's a really good way of finding additional stuff that you might not have found, and it's quite quick and easy to do. At a basic level, you start off with a really good article on your topic. If this article is on your topic and it's high quality, you can then start looking at their references. So look through those references, and it's likely that a number of those will be on that same topic, and that will help you find extra stuff. Now, the most basic way of doing that is simply to get an article up. So I've got an article here that I'm saying is on my topic, and I can just go down to their references, look through these, and then if any look like they might be good, look them up using Google Scholar or Locate. So that's one way of doing it, but that tends to be quite inefficient because the only thing you've got to go on really is the title, and it's quite a lot of work to then either type out or copy and paste each individual title into Locate or Google Scholar to find the full text of it. So there is a more effective way of doing it, and that's using a database called Scopus. So on your list of databases here, underneath cross-discipline, we've got this one, Scopus. And Scopus will do the same job, but it will do it electronically for you. So if I log on to Scopus, you then need to take the title of the article that you want. Now, there's a funny thing with Scopus, it doesn't like colons or semicolons very much, and lots of article titles have those in. So it works best if you take the first bit before a semicolon in order to do your search. Now, Scopus is a huge database. It covers most journals, but it won't necessarily have absolutely everything on there. But you should find if you put in maybe 4, 5, 6 articles, it will find most of them, but there might be some that it doesn't have. I'm going to try it with this one. So I'm going to copy that title. I'm going to paste it into Scopus, and then I'm going to select that it's an article title that we're looking for, and then run the search. So you should only get a small number of results, and I can see here I've got one result, and this is the article that I was looking for. It matches up with this one here. If I then click on it, I get the title and the abstract, and then if I scroll down to the bottom, this is their list of references. So this matches up with the references that you'll find down here. Now, because it's online and because it's electronic, we can then start opening up some of these other links. So if I think this one might be useful to me, I can open that one up. I get their title and I get their abstract. So you've got a lot more to go on about whether this is actually relevant to you or not. If I decide it is relevant, I've then got this locate it link, so I can look up and see if we've got access to it from the library, so I'm not having to do a second search. You can also then, if I decide this one's relevant, I can look through their references, so I can go back even further to find more stuff. And that's particularly effective if, like this, you've got a systematic review or a literature review that you found through this route. And then I can carry on and look through the rest of these and start building up a picture of where this research has actually come from. Now that's all very well to find some extra articles, but the downside is that you're always going to be going backwards in time. So this article is from 2016, and all of these in their references are necessarily going to be older than that because they have to be. But the nice thing with Scopus that you can do is, along with looking backwards and doing what we call backward citation tracking, you can also use this bit where it says cited by, and this tells you where this paper has been cited since it was published. So this one has been published since 2016 and it's been cited 3 times. And then I can again start looking these up to see if there's any of these that might be relevant. So this one, yeah, looks like it might be relevant. I've also got that this is a systematic review, so then I can look through their references and find additional stuff. So this is a great way of mapping out where the research has come from and how it's all citing each other. What you're likely to find, particularly once you've got your research question, is that there's some researchers in this area that are really focused on it. So researchers tend to have a very narrow field which they really specialise in. Now, if you get one of their articles, what you can then do is click on their name, and that will tell you anything else that they've published. So this author here has got 69 different articles or documents that they've published. I can see where they've been cited, and you can often look here as well to see who they've co-authored with, and that gives you a really good picture of who the specialists and the experts are in this area, because they're doing consistent research in it. So again, that's another way of finding additional material for your reading. Okay, any questions, queries, problems with that, do feel free to email me. I'll be happy to get back to you.